In this video, we're going to go over a few of the tech tools that will help you use your writing journal effectively. If you forget, maybe 3 or 4 weeks from now, you're trying to remember something, this handy dandy cheat sheet gives you some information and reminds you of how to do 3 of the important things that you will have to do in your digital writing journal. So let's get started. I'm scrolling through the thumbnails, and the first thing you'll see is that right here, I have my very first entry page. Each entry has 3 blue text boxes on it, one for the date, one for the title, and one for the text that you will type. All you need to do is click in that text box, and you'll see it becomes bright blue. If it has the word title in it, go ahead and delete that word and go ahead and type in your title. Let's say the title is Information about Using Digital Journals. Uh-oh, my title is bigger than my text. No worries. I can just highlight that and make it a little smaller so it fits in my text box. I can also drag the text box out to make the text box a little bigger. And there we go. Then I'm going to go ahead and put the date. And then I click in my text box. Now you'll notice that this particular text box has kind of a background to it. That's because the page has lines on it. And when you type on that page, I've grayed out the background so that the text comes up a little more easily and easier to read. So as you type in the text box, the text will automatically wrap around. So you don't have to hit enter or anything like that. When you want to put a new paragraph, just hit enter twice, like this. Or hit enter once and then tab. Enter, tab, like this. Both ways work. Make sure you do what your teacher tells you to do. Think carefully about your font. The default font is Arial size 25. Arial is a very readable font, and size 25 can be seen without zooming. So make sure you do what your teacher tells you to do. The title and date font is Righteous. So that's a little fancier. If you choose a different font, make sure it is one that people can read. Lots of times kids choose Lobster, which is fancy, but very difficult to read. When you get to the end of the page, go to the next slide. So if you keep typing, this text box will go ahead and extend beyond the slide. However, if you print it out, no one will be able to see what is beyond the slide. So make sure you always type within the slide. When you're ready, you just click to the next slide on the thumbnail. Now, you may be continuing a story or a writing piece from the day before, in which case I always tell my students just click on the title and say, Information about using digital journals continued. So you know it's the same piece of writing. Now let's talk about another tech tip. Maybe your text box has disappeared. Oh no! Well, the very easiest thing to do is go to these arrows and just hit undo, and there it is again. If for some reason you need a new text box, click the text box tool and you can draw a text box wherever you need it to be. If you are typing and something is very small, you can zoom. Right here, you go to the magnifying glass that says zoom. And if you click on that drop down arrow, you'll see that the default size is 39% because that fits on your screen. You can zoom to 50% or 100% or even 200%. Whew, that got pretty big. Now that we have a piece of writing, we want to be able to find that writing. In order to do that, you'll want to hyperlink your table of contents. So this piece of writing is called Information About Using Digital Journals. I'm going to go back to the table of contents and I'm going to click in that first box. You can see there's already a text box there. So I'm just going to type the title of my piece and the date. Now to hyperlink, so I can click on this title and get right to that piece of work, I'm going to highlight the text in that text box, then right click on the text and choose link. I want to link to a slide in this presentation, and you can see the slide that I typed on was slide number 5. There's a little 5 next to the thumbnail, and that tells you it's slide 5. So I scroll down to slide 5, and I choose it, and it says, are you sure you want information about using digital journals to go to slide 5? I sure do. So I'm going to click apply. And now this is hyperlinked. And so I can click on that link and get immediately to here, to this slide. It's easier to click on the links in presentation mode. So when you open your journal every day, I recommend going to presentation mode, clicking on the part where you want to type, and then ending your presentation. The last thing I want to talk to you about is adding and duplicating slides. Let's say, as you are typing, you really like this slide background, and you want to use it for more than one page. As you'll notice, every page is a totally different background. If you really like this one, in the thumbnail, right-click on it and duplicate it. Now you should have some ideas about how to use your digital writing journal. I hope you play around with it, explore, and have a wonderful time writing. Ready to purchase? If you can't wait to get the digital writing journal, just click on the link in the description or right here in front of you. Thanks for watching.